Hey worship vocalists, I want to give you a few tips for singing the song Holy Spirit. I remember the first time I heard this song, Bryan and Katie Torwalt's original version, and I remember just being so amazed by the beauty of the song and the simplicity of the lyrics and melody. Just so singable, and what an incredible prayer to pray. Holy Spirit, we know you're always with us, but be welcome here. You're invited to have your way. You're invited to speak to us. And I love the bridge lyrics, just this prayer to increase our awareness of the Holy Spirit in our midst. I've led this song myself many times, and I have a few simple vocal things I want to share with you that will hopefully help give you more confidence, more freedom in your voice the next time you sing this song. I'm going to use the key of D as per Francesca Battistelli's version. Okay, in the verse, it's important to leave some room, save some room to build your voice later in the song. Usually the band kicks in full when we're headed back into the verse after the first chorus, and so we have to save some room for that. The song is very repetitive, which makes it so beautifully singable for our congregations, but it also means that we have to be intentional to create a journey with our vocal dynamics. If we start off too strong, we have nowhere to go in our voice later on. So instead of "there's nothing worth more that could ever come close, nothing can compare," keep it a bit more subdued at the beginning. "There's nothing worth more that could ever come close, nothing can compare, you're our living hope." The other thing I want you to think about in the verse is getting into what we call a mix voice right away in the song, a blend of vocal resonance. The temptation is to reach everything up in your chest voice. The melody notes sit just below the breaking point, that transition spot in the female voice, so you technically can hit all these notes in chest voice, but you're gonna wear out your voice like crazy. "There's nothing worth more that could ever come close, nothing can compare." And the more fatigued your voice gets, the more pitchy your notes will be, and the more dull your voice will sound. And if you're singing all these notes in your head voice, "nothing can compare, you're our living hope," it's not an efficient coordination. This is too low for a pure head voice, so the notes get weak. It doesn't sound contemporary. But when we use a blend of 3 different resonant sounds, we split the resonance 3 ways: between the mouth, chest voice, mum, 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 the nasal cavity, nasal pharynx, the pharyngeal voice, mum, 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 and the head cavity, top of the nasal cavity, the head voice, mum, mum, mum. What we end up with is a brighter, more resonant tone that helps us hit the notes right in the center of the pitch, because we're not just muscling our chest voice up to reach them, and we're not pulling head voice down to the notes. You'll experience more freedom in your voice because you're engaging the power of the pharyngeal tone, which lifts tension and strain off the throat. "There's nothing worth more that could ever come close, nothing can compare." You'll also find when you sing in a mixed voice, the sound cuts through in your monitors easier, so you won't be straining your voice. You'll be able to hear it even above a loud band and other singers. So let's find this mix of resonance. What we're gonna do first is replace the lyrics with a mum, mum, mum. You're gonna place the resonance, or the vibration of air, right here at the front of the face, a slightly whiny cry sound. Mum, 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 mum. Mum, 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 mum. You can also try it on a meh sound. Meh, 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 meh. Meh, 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 meh. Meh, 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 meh. What this is doing is it's like training wheels for the voice. We're using this sound, we're using this exercise to build strength, build coordination in the voice, and tell our voice where we want that resonance to sit. We don't want it to all sit in the mouth. There's nothing worth more that could ever come close. And we don't want it to all sit in the head voice. There's nothing worth more. Instead, we're using this middle resonator. There's nothing worth more that could ever come close. I want you to hear how what I just sang there is the same tone as the exercise we were just doing with the mum and the meh. Mom, there's nothing worth more. Mom, that could ever come close. Meh, nothing can compare. This is a blended resonance, a mix of resonance, and when you find this in your voice, it will revolutionize every song you ever sing. Now, I want you to try taking this line by line. First, sing the melody on a mum or a meh, and then sing that same line immediately after with the lyrics back in. Mom, there's nothing worth more. Mom, that could ever come close. Mom, nothing can compare. Mom, you're our living hope. Meh, I've tasted and seen. Meh, of the sweetest of loves. Meh, where my heart becomes free. Meh, and my shame is undone. Okay, so we found the vocal tone that we want. Now I want to give you a few tips for how to pronounce these words so that it frees up your voice. So often I find singers are over pronouncing the lyrics, and what ends up happening is it doesn't sound contemporary and it puts so much tension and squeeze on the voice. I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of loves, where my heart becomes free. I'm going to read you how we're going to pronounce these words. There's nothing worth more. Most times when we come across an R consonant, we want to minimize it. That could ever come close. Nothing can compare. You're our living hope. Your presence slow. Now when we go to sing this, think about the pronunciation, but also about getting into that vocal tone, that mixed voice we just found. Especially be aware on some of these O vowels. Make sure you're not just pushing everything up in your chest voice. There's nothing worth more, right here, that could ever come close. Same O vowel. You're our living hope. Now for this one, you can either do that little vocal run down, or you can hold the note. You're our living hope. If you do hold the note long like that, it's so important that you free it up in this resonant space up here. Otherwise, that note is just gonna crack and break. Same thing in the second half of the verse. Now, I know this is a strange way of looking at things, but the reason why we pronounce the words, we pronounce the vowels in this way is because it helps us hit the notes in the most efficient way possible. It keeps things from tensing up because we're creating open space in the mouth. I've tasted and seen of the sweetest of love, where my heart becomes free and my shame is undone. Your presence, Lord. And then we just continue the same thing in the chorus using this cry sound that gets us in the mix. Mom, Holy Spirit, you are welcome here. Mama, come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. No, your glory, God, is what our hearts long for. No, to be overcome by your presence, Lord. This Lord is another one of those long held notes, so don't tense up your throat. Free it up, move the resonance into the right place, and drop your jaw slightly so we get that open space in the mouth. Oh, Lord. Okay, the bridge. This is where, guys, if you're able to jump up the octave to be on par with the girls, it sounds amazing. We get this sort of gang vocal sound when everybody is powering out the melody strong. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. Get that sound in the mix. Guys, if you are jumping up the octave, make sure you are engaging this pharyngeal resonator. Otherwise, you're going to hurt your voice pushing up this high in a straight up chest voice. The bridge repeats itself several times. So girls, if you're leading the song and you have other people with you who can stay on that melody part strong, it can really bring the song to a whole new level if you jump to a higher part. In Kari Jobe's version, she jumps up to a high harmony. Let us become more aware of your presence. Let us experience the glory of your goodness. In Francesca Battistelli's version, she does some ad-libs on top of the other singers singing the melody. Oh, your presence, God, of your presence, God. Now, I have something to say about ad-libs in worship songs. Number one, if you do them sparingly. Less is always more. In most church settings, it's not serving our congregation well or leading them effectively to be adding in fancy licks and trills and ad-libs in a lot of places in the song. We want to keep it simple for the most part, and then once in a while, if it's right for the song and the moment to bring it to another level, we add something in. Secondly, for licks and trills, please, please, please do them humbly. And by that, I don't mean hold back or be hesitant. I believe we're created in the image of a creative, beautiful, extravagant God, and we were created to reflect his beauty. So we're not stealing from his glory when we are able to make a beautiful sound with our voice. But our purpose and our intention and our goal has to be to glorify him, to be a reflection of his beauty, not to draw attention to ourselves, not to glorify ourselves. I'm so not interested in worship leaders showing off their skills. One of my coaches, Brett Manning, says, if you're tempted to hide it, show it. If you're tempted to show it, hide it. So just ask the question, why would I add in a lick or a run or a trill to this moment in the song? Does it serve the congregation? Does it serve the moment well? And is it coming from a place of humility and not just showing off? And thirdly, if you're going to do an ad-lib, make sure it's not messy. Make sure the notes and the execution are clean and on pitch. Anything messy or off pitch is a distraction, and it's better to not do it at all if it's not going to be on point. So plan it out, practice it over and over and over and over until you're consistently getting it right. Of your presence, God, of your presence, God, of your presence, God. And don't be afraid to use an exact ad-lib or run that you hear on an album recording. Mimicking others is a really great way to learn. It helps your ear and your voice get used to the right kinds of things to add in and how they fit within the rhythm and the chord structure of the song. And then eventually you'll be able to do those kind of things spontaneously and come up with your own. Okay, one last thing for the final chorus coming out of the bridge. Usually the band sort of drops out a bit. And so let your voice reflect that moment. Sing a bit more gently here than you've sung on the other choruses. Let it be a bit more vulnerable. Let a bit more air, breathiness come out in your tone. Holy Spirit, you are welcome
Come flood this place and fill the atmosphere. Your glory, God, is what our hearts long for, to be overcome by your presence, Lord.
Hopefully that helps, gives you a few things to think about and try out the next time you're singing this song. Check out theworshipvocalist.com for more tips and training specifically designed for worship leaders and worship vocalists.